Bolton, also a Fox contributor. Ambassador, thanks for being with us this morning.
Glad to be here.
Let me ask you first and foremost, what would Iran do if this attack were to take place?
Well, I think if Israel went after the Iranian nuclear weapons program, its various facilities, Iran's options are actually less broad than people think. They can't stop exporting oil, for example, and if they did launch conventional military retaliation against Israel, they'd have to worry about an even greater response from the Israelis. Another possibility that's been speculated about is they might increase attacks against American forces inside Iraq or Afghanistan. That's also very risky for the Iranians because we undoubtedly would not take that lying down.
We know that Syria would certainly side with Iran if it decided to take action, but who else could it count on in the Mideast?
Well, I think they'd actually have very limited support from the Arab states. I think you wouldn't hear the Arab states say this publicly, but they would be delighted if the United States or Israel destroyed the Iranian nuclear weapons capability. They fear Iran in many respects just as we do. So you had the example last September of Israel destroying a North Korean reactor in Syria, and the reaction in the Arab world was very, very muted because they saw Syria as an agent of Iran, and they were quite happy that Israel took that reactor out.
That is so interesting to look at it that way. I'm wondering, when you look at Israel, do you think they're working on a particular timeline?
Well, I think they're probably experimenting with different methods. I think if they are to do anything, the most likely period is after our election, but before the inauguration of the next president. I don't think they will do anything before our election because they don't want to affect it, and they'd have to make a judgment whether to go during the remainder of President Bush's term in office or wait for his successor.